The intense internal battle is happening right now, and it's because your soul connection is causing them massive anxiety. The energy is clear. They must contact you urgently. This destined path is inevitable. Hey there, I'm Katsumi, and this is a collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. The energy in this spread is focused on a powerful, destined love and a deep emotional urgency. And right now, the word coming through is soulmate. I'm also hearing that the silence between you is the loudest thing in their life. Now let's find out what other messages are coming through. So starting off, I'm definitely feeling that soulmate energy popping through here. Something along the lines of like they're trying to fight to desperately return to you in some way. It almost feels like they said something but they meant the other thing. And especially with this first card saying said yes when they meant HE double hockey sticks no. So basically heck no. They are feeling resentment, they're feeling self-betrayal, like they wanted to tell you something when you asked them, but they said no. It almost feels like, it's almost like someone getting married or getting into another relationship in regret, knowing that they wanted to be with you, but they chose someone else. It's almost like you two were mutuals and something along the lines of you've known each other for some time now, things are working really well. And you ask them like, hey, is this working for you? How do you feel? What do you think about me? And it almost seems as though they said no. And it almost made you kind of take a step back a little bit in terms of how you were feeling about the connection, whether or not it was actually love there or some sort of deep emotional connection of some kind. I'm definitely feeling and hearing from the energies that this connection was very strong. It almost felt like very harmonious, very stable, very integrated in one another. And it feels like they said no out of fear of what could potentially go wrong or what could happen if they were to take that next leap with you. It's like, at the same time, it's almost like there's skepticism in the potential of being with you. It's almost like they were fearful or not wanting to take that next leap because of, XYZ situation. Maybe they felt like they had to go into a different relationship because of XYZ reasons or connections or maybe even family or culture or, like just how one thinks about something, perhaps even religion, really. And if that situation doesn't resonate with you, I'm also almost feeling like maybe you perhaps might have come across as someone who was skeptical of the relationship because things didn't seem quite right, so you kind of like put it in the back burner. Like it sounded good, but at the same time it was like just no, but there's resentment there, something along those lines. But it definitely feels like you or this person that you're thinking about has some sort of resentment in terms of how they maneuvered in the relationship. We're also getting like Six of Wands vibes popping up there. It's like you two are being able to recognize that the relationship was really solid. Something to do with like feeling a sense of like victory and knowing that this connection was strong and that this connection also had some sense of like almost like with that star energy, it kind of feels like it almost feels like too good to be true vibes in some way, where it's like very hopeful, but at the same time built off of faith. Like it almost feels like the relationship is victorious, but it kind of feels like it's sugar-coated almost, like a fantasy almost with this star energy. Kind of like a dream come true. Like, is it too good to be true? Is this really aligning to the desires that you want or you both want? And the universe is saying yes with this Six of Wands. It's like, yes, recognize the victoriousness of this relationship. Recognize that it is built off of one's pride, one's, I guess, I almost suppose it's kind of like, one's like, I almost got like this checklist or to-do list kind of thing. Like it's checking all the boxes, but at the same time, it kind of wants to be like hidden away. Maybe this person was someone maybe this person was already in a relationship with somebody else, kind of. Maybe that might resonate with some of you. Um, hmm. Like maybe it sounded good in the time being, but like maybe there was someone else involved. Like maybe it was leading to some sort of affair, or maybe leading to some sort of like, maybe like, like this person was already in an established relationship. I don't know why. When I see this card here, it almost feels like this person was already married as well. So something might resonate there for some of you, or connect the dots in that regard. But nonetheless, this relationship felt balanced, like it was inventing something and also destructive all at the same time. It's almost like you found each other at such an odd spot in your lives, and it kind of caused like a massive amount of anxiety in the relationship. Even though there's like some sort of soul connection, it feels very much like an intense internal battle that's happening between you and this person. But it's like, it's inevitable because the connection is so strong. Like it's almost destined to be together almost. There's like some sense of emotional urgency in that. And it's odd. It's like odd, but also very humorous to see the lovers here when I was shuffling the deck. It's like, the lovers doesn't necessarily mean like romance and love, but in a love reading, it signifies that strong partnership, that strong union of two people coming together with that Gemini energy. And especially with the Emperors here, it kind of just solidifies that like this relationship is built off of you and this person nurturing each other, creating and having abundance in the relationship. It feels very much like an embodiment of like caring for one another in a deep sense. But there was just so many red flags that your intuition was telling you, things that you ignored. It almost feels like this person kind of like, I don't know why, led you on to believing that there's like, this is like a fairy tale kind of thing. And this person is your soulmate, and they're fighting to return to you and like get you back. But it seems like they did something to disrupt your trust in them. It almost feels like you betrayed yourself and your integrity by pursuing this person. It's almost like you didn't know perhaps that they were in a relationship, or maybe you didn't know that they were seeing someone else, they were married, they had a kid, or something like that. Like they weren't being forefront with you is what I'm hearing. And there's like now some sort of silence and distance between both of you. It feels very much like there's some sort of resistance, because like your absence is kind of causing them to be regretful. And it's like they want to connect with you, they want to contact you and kind of just like have this reunion with you, but it's really up to you to decide if you want that, is what I'm hearing. It also feels like if this person wasn't in some sort of compromising situation, whether they are married, like whether like maybe they weren't married, maybe they weren't in another relationship, but they decided to choose something over you, or they were thinking about other different motives that might have kind of put the relationship on a standstill. I'm kind of getting that it's like they were kind of putting up this front with this poker face card, kind of like hiding their true feelings, kind of like almost like having this dry humor about it too, kind of like getting kind of caught out in the cold with this, having this dry spell with them, having this like these cold calls, having these like blank slates occur quite often. It's almost like it was like impossible to read them. And it's interesting to see that with the page here. It's like you're turning the pages of the book and you're kind of just trying to assess the situation, but you can't, because it's like they're emotionally detached. You can no longer read between the lines with them, or like you kind of don't really know anymore as well, which is interesting. It kind of feels like the relationship kind of like went on a standstill almost. And so you kind of had to accept what it was and kind of resign from that. It's almost like finding inner peace and surrendering and kind of just being with what is, and kind of finding simplicity as like the common ground in life, Maybe you were listening to some songs that kind of like reminisced about the relationship, or kind of got you back on your feet. But there's something to do with a song maybe that created some sort of panic. Like maybe it brought you back to the memories in the relationships, or kind of like situations you had in the relationship with this person. And I'm also hearing that maybe a song kind of like pulled you in a direction that kind of felt like it was symbolic to a relationship, but kind of brought you into like this sort of like misleading headline kind of vibe, where it almost feels like it kind of took you on this ride of like uncertainty on how you were feeling, what you were thinking about in terms of the relationship. And it maybe kind of connect the dots in some ways too. Like maybe you realize, oh, there's empty promises in this relationship, or there's exaggerated truths, and you can relate to the song in that regard. Or things are not really what it seemed to be. So definitely a lot of like themes around that when it comes to this relationship. So based on the spread, it really just seems like this person is and was your soulmate, but they're fighting now to be back in your good graces, be back in your presence, and they're very desperate to do so. It feels as though like they're ready to put all their cards on the table, but it's really up to you to decide there if that's what you want between, you know, you and them, if you want the relationship to be, you know, with them or kind of continue with them, is what I'm hearing. I'm also getting a little bit of like even though there was like regret on their end, it also feels like the regret is only due to your absence. Like I kind of wonder if they are constantly thinking about ways to improve the relationship if they were to get back in your good graces. You know, the energies are unsure there because of that poker face vibe there. And I'm also kind of hearing that they're going to reach out to you and they're going to try to find common ground. So the next step forward is really just going to be based on how you want to traverse that energy. And so 623 might be of significance, or 222. I'm also getting 2020 for some reason, and 444. So yeah, with those numbers, I think those are all the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and if this reading resonated, consider showing your support by subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment down below. I truly appreciate it. And until next time, trust your path and let the universe work its magic.